So in this video, we're looking at converting metric units of length, area, mass. So what we'll do is we'll start with length. Okay, so we've got four forms of length I've put down over here. So we've got kilometers, meters, centimeters, and millimeters. All right. This is quite useful when you come into conversion. So if we're converting from kilometers to meters, we'll multiply the kilometer value by 1,000 to get it into meters. So if we're going from meters to centimeters, we'll multiply that meter unit by 1,000 to get the centimeters value. From centimeters to millimeters, we multiply it by 10. And we go the other way around. From millimeters to centimeters, you divide by 10. From centimeters to meters, you divide by 100. And from meters to kilometers, you divide by 1,000. So just remember, kilometers is the bigger unit and millimeters is the smallest unit or the smaller unit. Right? So let's look at an example. So if we were to convert 5 kilometers to meters, what I'll do is I'll multiply 5 by 1,000. Okay? And we get 5,000 meters. So 5 kilometers is equal to 5,000 meters. Now let's say if we were going to convert 600 centimeters to meters. So again, I'll go 600 divide by 100, which equals 6 meters. All right. So that is how we go about converting our lengths. All right. So you're looking at centimeters to meters. All right. So if we had 600, we'll get 6 meters. So just dividing, and you can do that for millimeters and kilometers as well. Okay. Just using this idea of multiplying or dividing by these values. Okay. Another quick tip. So if you were wanting to go from, say, meters to millimeters straight away, all right, what you'll do there will just be multiplied by 1,000. Okay, so you're looking at 100 multiplied by 10, okay, which equals 1,000. Okay, and vice versa, if you were going from millimeters straight to meters, that would be divide by 1,000. All right, so you can do that as well. Okay, you can skip it. So just using that 100 multiplied by 10, okay, and 100 multiplied by 10, and you can skip from those as well. Right, moving on. Well, let's look at mass. Okay, we can do mass as well. So mass, we've got tons, kilograms, grams, and milligrams. All right, and again, from going from tons to kilograms, it's multiplied by 1,000. From kilograms to grams, it's multiplied by 1,000. From grams to milligrams, it is multiplied by 1,000 as well. All right, so let's say if we were going from milligrams to grams, it was divided by 1,000. Grams to kilograms, divide by 1,000. And kilograms to ton, it's divide by 1,000 as well. All right. So therefore, 1 ton, right? 1 ton is equal to 1,000 kilograms. I'll write that down for you. So 1 ton is equal to 1,000 kilograms. All right. We can determine that by doing this over here. Let's just say if I had 7 tons, what would that be in kilograms? Well, that would just be 7 times 1,000. Okay, which equals 7,000 kilograms. All right, so 7 tons will equal to 7,000 kilograms. Now let's just say if I want to go from grams to kilograms. Okay, and let's just say I had, let's just say I had 1,500 grams, and I want to go to kilograms. Right, so I'll have 1,500 divided by 1,000. Right. So we got 1,000, and you can use a calculator for this. You can go 1,500 divide by 1,000. We get 1.5. So 1,500 grams is equal to 1.5 kilograms. All right. So you can do these conversions by just using this multiply by 1,000 or divide by 1,000 terminology right there. Right. And now what I want to do is move on to area. Okay. So area is always done in squares. Okay, it's always squared terms. Okay, so if you think about maybe a square, all right, and if this was length 1 and length 1, okay, let's just say centimeters. So the area for this is 1 times 1, which is 1 centimeters squared. Okay, that is how we get area. Okay, you're multiplying two lengths together, that's why it becomes centimeters squared. Okay, so for area, 1 centimeter squared is equal to 10 millimeters. Well, let's think about it in this situation over here. We've got 1 multiplied by 1. If we convert these lengths to millimeters, okay, that is just multiplying it by 10. So therefore, this will become, to a different color, 10 millimeters and 10 millimeters. And therefore, if we 10 times 10, well, that's just 100 millimeters squared. Right? So we converted those lengths to get that. Right? Again, looking at 1 meter squared. Okay. So 1 meter squared is just length 1 meters. Okay, so that becomes 1 meter squared. Well, let's convert that to centimeters. Well, if we convert meters to centimeters, well, that becomes 100 centimeters, and this becomes 100 centimeters. What we could do is find the area. We can go 100 times 100 is equal to 10,000. Right, so we get the area for this in centimeters is 10,000 centimeters squared. Now hectares is usually used as a unit for land. Okay, well, 1 hectare is equal to 10,000 meters squared. All right, so in hectare as well, okay, what you're looking at is just 10,000 meters squared. All right, that's 1 hectare. So that pretty much means we had 100 by 100. All right, so if I just go down slightly, and if I draw my thing, so this was 100 meters, this is 100 meters, which makes it 10,000 meters squared, or 1 hectare. All right, and we can do that for kilometers squared as well. 1 kilometer squared is equal to 1 million meters squared. All right, or 1 kilometer squared is equal to 100 hectares. Okay, so if we think about it, if we converted, if we had 1 kilometer, okay, so 1 kilometer, I know it's not to scale, but I'm just giving you an example. Okay, that's just 1 kilometer squared. If we converted that, that is 1,000 meters. Okay, 1,000 meters and 1,000 meters. And if we went 1,000 times 1,000, 1,000 times 1,000, that equals 1 million. Right, so we get 1 million meters squared. All right, so here's a little diagram for you guys to look into. Okay, so from kilometers squared to hectares, okay, you multiply by 1,000. If you want to go back from hectares to kilometers squared, it's divide by 100. From hectares to meters squared, okay, we're going by multiplying by 10,000, and if we go back the other way, it's divide by 10,000. From meters squared to centimeters squared, we multiply by 10,000. If we're going back the other way, we divide by 10,000. And if we're going from centimeters squared to millimeters squared, we multiply by 100. Otherwise, we go back, we divide by 100. But sometimes it might just be easier to convert the lengths first and then find the area. Okay, but sometimes if you can't convert the lengths, this will be a diagram or an idea you can use. Okay, so let's just say if we were looking at converting 15 centimeters squared to millimeters, okay, well, we can go and go, well, 15 multiplied by 100 is equal to, and we can go to our calculator if you wanted to, you can go 15 times 100, which is 1,500. 1,500 millimeters squared. Okay, so you can use your calculators for things like this as well. Okay, otherwise you can just do it a simple way as well. So let's just say if we wanted to convert 270 meters squared to hectares, or let's just make it a bigger number. Let's go 2007. Let's go 27,000 meters squared to hectares. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go 27,000 divided by 10,000. Okay, which is 2.7 hectares. And you can check on your calculator as well. You can go 27,000 divided by 10,000, which is 2.7 hectares as well. Okay, so it's important to put your units there as well. Okay, no matter what you're converting, remember to put your units down there as well.